Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to TTTV. This is the very first round of season number 13. Brand new season here at TTL F1. My name is Kieran McGinley, and you thought you'd heard the last of him on Tuesday, maybe even the Friday before, but he's back again for the season opener. Joining me is Steph Seymour. Steph, how are you this evening?
Hello, Mr. Kieran McGinley. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's a pleasure to be here, as always, on the start of Season 13, Round 1, live in Australia. It's been a privilege to be here, and it's always been great to be joined by you, Kieran. I'm all good, and how are you?
I'm not too bad. In fact, I don't think there's been many times that both of us have been in the box at the same time.
The only times that we've been in the box together, there's occasional times when we were doing like the esports leagues coverage, obviously when I'm available. But yeah, no, it's always been great to be back with you, Kieran. I learned a lot from you since then, so...
Ah, stop it. You own that TTFL league when you were commentating on it. But with a new season, obviously we can't really run down all the driver standings, Steph. So we'll sort of go through all of the teams. So Mercedes, this season, the 12 previous seasons, the drivers basically got to pick and choose their cars. For season 13, the teams picked the drivers. So Mercedes have gone for Squeezy and Spike, and then Ferrari have gone for Lambo and Poe. Red Bull have got Ollie and Siege. Renault have gone for Maze and Alan Kay. Force India have gone for Lighty and Rapid. You've got Haas who've gone for Sean and Damien. McLaren have gone for Zenki and Jay. Toro Rosso have gone for Laronix and Yuzi. Sauber have gone for Graham and Julian, and then Williams have the premier reserve drivers, if you like, of Odems and Z3. What do you make of those team lineups, Steph?
Oh, it looks like it's going to be a very interesting season, but it looks like Kieran, obviously with the teams decided to choose the drivers, not the drivers choose what teams they want to race for. Obviously looking for obviously the top three teams like Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, all got very competitive drivers in there. But do not rule out everyone else down in the midfields as well. You got loads of Renault as well, keep an eye out for, especially with Mays and Alan Kay. They're both as they have been through previous seasons, and obviously especially last season, it's been very consistent in points. Like Mays being Mr. Consistent, Alan Kay being right up there as well in terms of points. Obviously, do roll out like Ian Rapid though in Force India. Again, them two get good points up if anything happens up at the front. Sean there, proving his A game last season. He's been up on top form, especially on the last end of the season. He, driving for Haas this time round. He'll be looking at higher points. Obviously, Damon joining back after dropping out a bit through last season. Again, trying to prove himself and show his worth, and hoping to help Sean with points progress in Haas. Looking for the rest of the field, obviously, fairly new drivers in there as well, Zenki, who was also a regular in TTFL. Also Jay as well, former driver as well. Don't rule him out. He's got pace in him as well, so just keep an eye on him. Laronix and Uzi again. Then two fairly quick drivers as well. Uzi was obviously featured in TTFL, so keep an eye on him and his terms of progress. S. Graham from TTL F2, doing really well in TTL F2 as far as I'm aware, and he'd be looking to prove his A game in the top main theme series. So, and obviously you've got the likes of Odems and C3. They're obviously filling in for Williams. Odems being a very quick driver, as I'm well known, and also C3 as well. So, looking through it across the field though, Kieran. Looks like it's going to be a great, interesting lineup for the start of the season.
Absolutely, and not many drivers have stayed put at their teams. I think from first glance, it looks like Ollie stayed with Red Bull. It looks like Mays has stayed with Renault. Apart from that, I can't really see any person who's managed to stick with the team they started with, if you like, Steph.
Yeah, it's like I said, Mays is still with Renault, and also everyone had got a couple of drivers in there keeping their positions, but everyone else, like I said, a new team, new different type of car. They'll all be literally trying to improve and show their worth and stuff, and push themselves up the table and get themselves higher up for the constructors to choose in for next season. So obviously, start of the race season of obviously round one, you know, all the teams will be eager to hoping for their drivers, just to bring the car home and get good points on the board as much as possible. So it'd
Yeah,
be interesting when the season cracks on forward.
absolutely. And the thing with a new season comes these new team colours and what you think everybody was in. So, for example, I'm still going to think Squeezy's in a McLaren, so that's what he was in last season. I'm still going to think Lambo's in a Toro Rosso. It's going to take a couple of races to adjust, that's for sure, Steph.
Oh yes, it indeed, Kieran. It will take a couple of races to adjust, but then once getting into the flow, it comes back as in second nature. Thinking, oh yeah, it's in this team. Until the end of the season after the Challenge Cup as well, at the end of it, to go into new teams, then it'll be like all fun and games once again.
Absolutely. Well, it is great to have you with us, Steph, and we are almost ready to go. We have 17 drivers so far in the lobby. I think we're waiting for one more. Could be waiting for a couple more. So, well, let's talk about the Australian Grand Prix. It's Albert Park, and there's 16 turns around this circuit, around this street circuit. We're going to be having, I believe, that is 27 or 26 laps around this track. Correct me if actually, that is wrong. But the first race was in 1996, circuit length 5.303 kilometres. The lap record still held by the V10 era. Michael Schumacher, 124.125, set all the way back in 2004. And I'm quickly trying to work out what's half of 58, Steph. I can't get it.
Half of 58 is, I believe, is 26. Right, 26,
we'll
26, 26, 28.
It's 29.
Yeah, 28. Okay,
29. You see,
so,
Steph.
Well,
You see, Steph. This is why in those Challenge Cups, you and I don't do the maths. We go nowhere near it.
we're nowhere near it. We go straight to the action point. That's how we roll.
All we do is the commentary part. That's all we do.
Yes. We lose our voices when the drivers use up the adrenaline, getting pumped up for it.
Absolutely. And we're almost ready to go. We've got 19 drivers now, so this is a fantastic sight to see for the season opener. And, well, I have to ask you, Steph, Commentator's Corner, last round of the season, we were talking to Blizzard, and, well, he was saying he's going to back Lambo for the title. We've got Z3 in the chat saying this is Squeezy's time, and Spike saying there's a lot of love in the commentary box.
Well, obviously, with Squeezy, being a football champion of the last season, obviously he retired at the end of it afterwards, saying that he's not going to race. Pretty much it is open to anyone. Anyone, any driver out there now has a chance for it. Not just saying backing up for particularly drivers. Anyone and everyone has a chance. It's how you keep the consistency up. That's the key. It is consistency and get in key places. If you get in key places, you can get points in every places. Everything's happening. But again, some drivers back up particular drivers to get the points. But at the end of the day, all the drivers out there to all have fun and have good racing stuff. Okay, accidents happen along the way, but again, it's consistency that counts.
And obviously you were there for the Challenge Cup. You saw Lambo come away with the victory. How much momentum do you think that's going to carry into a new season?
Oh, going into a new season, Lambo will be pumped and ready for it. Him, Lambo and Ollie battling out for the Challenge Cup. You can see the great rivalry there, but the same along with it is the respect with it.
Absolutely. A new season dawns and you can hear those engines fire up, ready to go. And Steph, you were racing with these guys not so long ago. Now you join me in the commentary box. Can we call you a Jensen Button?
You can call me a pundit. I'm not a champion, but I know the race car and everything else with it. So I'm a good pundit as it is in terms of race, so to speak. I won't say like a Jensen Button.
We have
David Crawford either.
I bet you'll be happy up in the commentary box on days like, I don't know, any street circuit, I wonder. You'll realise at those
Yes.
street circuits, Steph, that that joke's not going to go away. It will never go away.
Unfortunately not. And we are not going to mention this whatsoever, Mr. McGinley. It is not to be featured in this tonight's race. Although you try to pop it up, but this is not going to get mentioned in the stream tonight.
It won't be
No
mentioned
one
by
else
me.
comment about it. No, no one else in the comments, you know about it, do not mention it. I will hunt you down. Anyway, rolling on to carry on into qualifying.
Absolutely, and Blizzard is with us tonight. He is a reserve driver though. He's decided to take a step back. He was talking to us at the end of the season in commentator's corner, saying that he will drop down to reserve, so he's not going to defend his title, but he is going to race for the time being. And as I said before, he's back in Lambo to win the championship. In the Ferrari then, we could see a really good battle between those top 3-4 teams then, Steph.
It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, there's a backing up Lambo, but obviously, there's been the full-time champion. He'll be going around and showing his pride. And as we're going on board with him now, heading over the DRS straight, going on the line, go through the lap with Blizzard there. So obviously, going on the line now, heading down towards turn 1, breaking point about 100 metre board, towards up the slow car on the right there, go around turn 1. So now at the start, going around turn 2, again, keep it nice and stable there, heading down towards the famous turn 3. We've seen many accidents here, keep an eye on it. Again, looking on the 100 metre board, breaking nicely. A little bit of lock up around turn 3, but keeping it under control. Getting touch the grass, go around turn 4. Got the right exit, but keeps it under control around turn 5 now. Again, trying to visit there, keeping it all around under control. Turn 6, and keeping 7, and around along the right hand of 8. Again, not keeping very close to the inside of 8, but keeping it under control, heading up towards turn 9 and turn 10. Keeps it getting the right through here, which he does, getting right up close to the wall there. Getting through it around the long left hander of 11, heading up towards 12 and 13, very fast section here. Make sure we flat out here, keeping control here, which he does. Easy to use it back end around that point. Getting over the third DRS detection point, using DRS here. Around turn 13, keeping it well under control. Very far from Blizzard, very tidy, around 14. A little bit wide there, but again, gets away with it. 15 able to lock up, nice and tight on the apex. Get the line up to 16, taking a wide line to get straight attacks to now straight in. And DRS open, blitz down to the line, and the lap time we got from Blizzard is a 1:19.699 there. So that is the benchmark there for Blizzard.
Yeah, and with a new season, Steph, comes a new update, normally to tyre temperatures. Now, there was an issue, there was a glitch, it got fixed, but what that means now is that, in theory, tyre temperature is a little bit more manageable, so you might actually see more drivers go for that softer strategy as we rapid there, flying through turn 1 and 2 there in the Force India. You might see more drivers try that more aggressive strategy purely because they can keep those tyre temperatures under control, more so than last season.
Indeed, obviously drivers will be opted to go for more aggressive strategy, but at the same time though, qualifying, yes, you get your spot in, on the grid. However, it all comes down to racing, how you do it. We still see drivers up there, quite a few by looking at it, still going for the alternative strategy. So, do not rule out the people on the alternative strategy, because they can come back later on in the race which come in their advantage with a light fuel load.
Well, there is Marquez there, who is running as Odems, if you like. And he's there in the Williams. He's joining alongside Z3, and that's a name I haven't seen in a long time in TTL. He was present in the last couple of races of TTL F1, focused on F2, now got his chance again at the Williams as he comes across the line. What's his first lap time of the new season? His first lap time is an out lap, so completely ignore that then.
No, it is good. No, it is good to see C3 at that day. He has some good days in certain tracks and some bad days in others, but he still pushes on and still competes and still gets his points on the board. So it is great to see C3. And he loses the back end around the exit of turn 4 there, damaged his front wing there. So C3 there nearly put himself right out of qualifying there, but he gets away with it just with the damaged front left wing there. So C3 already, as we've seen, going back and showing full force, pushing his car just a little bit too eager there. Maybe just a case of a back end dropping off on the curbs on the exit of turn 4.
Now this is interesting, Steph. Obviously Mercedes have seen the potential in Spike. They've signed him up to race alongside Squeezy then. How do you think Spike is going to play in this season then?
Well, obviously, like, Spurs is like, this. You see how they will get on because of the first few races, say, leads up for race number 5. But both very quick drivers. Obviously, wait, whoa, while the spikes they're losing it on the exit there on 10-13, again hitting the wall. But I think he only just gets away with minor damage, but he is currently facing in the wrong direction there, so he needs to quickly get himself turn right back round there, which he does nicely so, whilst hitting the ball at the same time. But luckily, Spike getting away with that, losing on the back end as we were speaking about him. Not like we're playing any commentators curse or nothing like Kieran, but yeah, as I was saying though, obviously Spike and Squeezy will be just wait and see what the races will be like, and obviously go from there. But obviously Squeezy being the more aggressive driver, while Spike's more of say like a conservative type driver. So we're pretty much like an element of like Senna and Prost in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, having a look at the final season standings, Force India go in this as the defending champs. And, well, obviously, let's have a look at Spike. He finished 6th place last season. He did battle through illness through the last part of the season. He was very cold-ridden, flu-ridden towards the end of the season. We could tell that in Commentator's Corner. And, well, obviously, Mercedes has seen a potential. We'll be hoping for better than 6th place this season then.
Indeed, obviously, forcing there being links to Mercedes in terms of obviously power unit provider. So obviously, Spike moving up into Mercedes is like good sign of fortunes for him. Also, the same terms as Squeezy, where Squeezy was with I believe with McLaren. So two great powerhouses there, like great different driving styles and attributes to it, but both again very good consistency on points.
Marquez is then now flying down towards turn 1 and didn't really get off the bat last season. He also was a reserve last season and he picked up 25 points as a reserve. So he did get, I believe he got 1 race win, but that was it. He was quite unlucky in terms of retirement, so he'll be hoping to keep his head down and get himself a good start to this season.
He was indeed. He's also like a former teammate at one point, taking over from Damien when Damien left. So helping out in the points in terms wise for me when I was in Mercedes last season. So obviously with supporting Williams, you'd be eyeing to get Williams up the board in there in terms of points. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting all around. See how everyone fares out. First race of the season, everyone will be eyeing up a good decent amount of points and see how aggressive the drivers will be. But again, not all done on the first corner, on the first lap, but also on the first race as well.
May's correct me in the chat then. Marquez has scored a 3rd and a 5th last season, which then gave him 25 points. And, referring back to my comment earlier, Steph, when I asked you, are you a Jensen Button? Spike has said it. He said Jensen's Button's never done a 9-stop strategy. There you go, Spike. He's going to hunt you down now. he promised.
Spike.
He promised Jay
Spike.
then. Jay in the McLaren goes top. 119.4 from him, pipping Blizzard by just a 1/10 of a second. Obviously the tyres available here, ultra soft, super soft and soft tyres by season 14. I wonder if those tyre compounds are going to change. Probably season 14, maybe 15, those tyre compounds would change. They're on the way.
They're on the way, but obviously looking at it though, Kieran, Jay had to do an extra lap on that set of ultras. Now, obviously, okay, is that like a lap difference compared to Blizzard set his original lap time on that set? Okay, no, sorry, as I changed the setting over to best lap time, obviously Jay wanted a new fresh set of ultras to push himself up there. Don't rule out Blizzard though, because Blizzard will be straight up there again. Obviously, he's in the pits at the moment, he's just eyeing out for the best time to go out. But looking around across the field though, still got fairly quick drivers there. He can also challenge that as well.
Yeah, here comes Lighty towards the line. This became an outlap. That's just a 129, but here he goes then, flying in towards turn 1 in that Force India. And as we say, Force India are the defending Constructors champions. I wonder if they'll be able to battle for that crown this season, as Lighty now heads down towards what I believe is turn number 3, flying through turn 4 and then coming through this turn 5 section here. I still have nightmares about that turn 5 corner. Still should have listened to those yellow flags as we fly through turn 6.
Well, agreed. The worst one would be turn 3. You know, it has so many historic incidents in the past. Best way to look at it, back in '96 with Martin Brundle going around that particular corner where he rolled the car and hit the fencing. Luckily to get out unscathed, unhurt, and got himself back in the T-car. And if we go for a more recent accident there, it would be a case of Fernando Alonso on the back of
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez, and rolled it, and again came around unscathed. So obviously since the famous death of Senna back in Imola '94, safety has come quite a long way, and the cars have been really well structured in the monocoques and everything. So
absolutely, as someone there has just put themselves up the standings. I think it was Lighty actually who's put himself now up to 6th place, and it is. He improved by half a second there. You've got Ollie then, who set his best lap time on a set of soft tyres. He's currently out there on a set of super softs. Oh, as he puts a couple of wheels into the gravel there, he doesn't really want to do that, as Daniel Ricciardo found out the hard way and qualifying in 2017. But here comes Ollie now towards the line to start a flying lap on some super soft tyres, and by the looks of it he might just have enough time, if he wants to go for an ultra soft run as he flies through turn 1. Superhero, great name in the chat there, saying hello there, and great to have you on board with us for the season 13 opener. Unlucky for some, lucky for one. That is the season tag, and it will stick.
You're okay, season tag. Gonna love it there too.
Absolutely. Well, Dave M is out there. I believe he's on a 1:24.2. I'm reading that from quite a distance away. Here comes Damien towards the line, a little bit onto the grass there on a set of ultra soft tyres, and he comes across the line, and I believe that was then an outlap, must have been then from Damien in the Haas. Z3 is still in the pits then, yet to set a lap time. Marquez is also yet to set a lap time. So 3 drivers out there yet to set lap times. Graham then retired early on in the session. So first qualifying session of the season he's retired from. So not the greatest start to his mindset going into this season, but there's still the race to go then.
Yeah, there is indeed. Obviously he's still got just over 4 minutes yet left of the qualifying session. And looking at it on the table so far, you know, timing wise, you know, it's still fairly competitive, like from 1st to 5th place. Obviously, so yeah, 1st to 5th place, and obviously then it's like 6th downwards. You know, it starts to like spread out a little bit, but not too much. Again, obviously, some of the drivers out there on different type of compounds. That's the joys of having 3 different types of compounds of tyres. You know, each tyres have a different type of working range and operation window, along with different type of delta towards the grip of the tyre. Obviously, the harder the compound, the more durable it is, and obviously, the softer the compound, you expect to get lap time. But you know, it is down to driver mindset of what to use in the race, especially at the start of the race.
Well, Ollie then has gone for the mid-range tyre. He's put himself up to 6th place in that Red Bull. Super soft tyres and a 1:20.7. I'll tell you what, that's not a bad lap time, but he'll have time. He will have time to get back and put on a set of ultra softs. So I wonder if he can get himself sort of 4th and upwards, because ultra soft versus super softs is worth at least 6-7 tenths around this track.
Oh, indeed. And obviously, you know, super softs are a durable tyre, so you know you can expect to last to about like what, near halfway of the race stint, effectively. But again, obviously it depends on people who start on the ultra soft, how much have they burnt out over their qualifying stint to make sure they can actually last the distance. But you know, again, it's interesting. Obviously, some of the drivers up there, you know, out there on softs as well, so don't rule them out.
Looking in the chat then, we've got Sadie or Sadie, I'm not sure how you pronounce that name, saying he's disappointed with the times right now, but I'm not entirely sure who that is out on track, so just let us know who you are and we'll have a better idea of where you are in the standings right now. We've got Lewis saying he's enjoying the commentary. Well, we love the commentary, so we're glad you're enjoying it too. Make sure you do subscribe if you love this content. We've also got Superhero saying like the racing, so we love the racing, and it's only qualifying, Steph. The season is looking good. We haven't even started yet.
Oh, I know. There's still 2 minutes left of the session yet to go, though, Kieran. So obviously, like the drivers, the front runners, as you can see now, just starting to come out on track. Obviously, Jay is the first one up there, mainly to keep an eye out because he's the pulser at the moment. Obviously, as he goes over and starts his flying lap. So yeah, so Jay will be the first one over the line. Obviously, Blizzard, Perry, Lambo, Squeezy are also out there as well. So you know, the top 5 are going to be gunning for it, and I believe they'll all be out there on the set of ultras. So it is a showdown. It is a showdown for a pole position shootout between the top 5 at the moment. But do not rule out, though, anyone within the top 10 because they all also have a chance as well.
Yeah, 1 minute 20 to go then, and Jay is out there. Now flying through towards turn 8, now coming towards turn 9. There's a Renault there getting well out of the way. That looks like it's Alan Kay, as he set a 1:23.0. Z3 and Marquez is still yet to set a time. Dave M, by the way, went up to 8th place, 1:21.2 on a set of super soft tyres, as Jay now makes his way flying through that chicane then of turns 11 and 12. You carry so much speed in there, and it's all about the weight transfer. If the slightest bit of weight is slightly off, it unbalances the car and you just go flying off. I know that from experience. So here comes Jay then coming around turn 14, now making his way towards turn 15. Car looks in shape then as he makes his way now towards the final corner. A little bit onto the grass then. Losing the back end slightly through the last corner. That won't help his traction, but as he makes his way towards the line, can he improve on his time? Yes, he can. 1:19.380 from Jay then. What about Blizzard? Blizzard and Poe are out there. Poe is making his way now towards the far chicane. Lambo's still in sector 1. We've got Squeezy then also now making his way through turn 7. So it looks like Lambo's going to be the next one.
Blizzard's not going to do it.
No, he's pulled to the side there, yeah. So Lambo then.
Blizzard's pulled out.
So Lambo then will be, is it Lambo or is it Poe? No, Poe's coming towards the line now.
Poe's the next one on the line.
So he's coming around now, turn 14 now towards turn 15. He's got quite a bit of time to find. What can he do then in this Ferrari? Full lock right almost as he makes his way through the final corner now down the long straight start finish line. It's such a long way down. It's a 1:19.6.
Oh, Lambo's lost it. Lambo's lost it. Lambo has lost it. I believe that's around the exit of 11 and 12, that past left and right hand section. He's completely lost his will. So Lambo must be pushing it way too hard and obviously lost it on the weight transfer and literally hit the wall. So that is Lambo out of contention for pole position.
And that means Squeeze then goes up to P4. So he's now onto the second row of the grid. Blizzard then won't be able to improve on his lap time. We've got Laronix now making his way towards the line. Can he get himself further up the field then as he crosses the line? Yes, he does. P6 on super soft. So good lap time from him then. We've got Sean out there making his way through the final section. Rapid also out there. He's on some ultra softs.
Rapid's right behind him.
I wonder if Rapid's going to get a little bit of slipstream here then, as that is Marquez then up to P4 in the Williams.
Oh, Sean's lost it.
Sean's
lost
off.
It.
So that just leaves Rapid then coming towards the line then. And can he improve on his lap time as he makes his way towards the line? And that looks from the steering wheel. It looks like P12 from Rapid, and it is.
P12.
Well, that was a lap there, went under the radar from Marquezes, getting himself up to P4, but first pole position of the season goes to Jay.
What an interesting qualifying session then from everyone across the field. What a great way to start it. So going through then for qualifying then, we've got Jay there on pole with Blizzard long next to him on P2. Perry and Marquezes on P3, P4, along with Squeezy in P5, Lambo in P6, Laronix in P7, Ollie in P8, Light EP9, Spike in P10, Dave M in P11, Rapid P12, Sean 13th, Mazes in 14th, Damien B in P15, Uzi in 16th, Alan K in 17th, C3 they're not set at that time, he's starting in P18, and also S Graham in P19 and also not set a lap time there.
Well, what's interesting then is that Spike qualified in P10, okay, in that Mercedes, big things are expected of him, but he's on the soft tyre, the hardest possible compound. Now, what strategy Could that strategy really pay off coming into the race then?
Ooh, it'll be interesting. Obviously, you can make a complete clear one stop with that strategy. Obviously, you know, the soft tyres are more harder durable around here. Obviously, the only difference is the delta of the time for a lap going round. It is a slower tyre. So obviously, Spike's like mindset focus, get good start and just be consistent and just keep yourself well up there. But you know, anything can happen. You can have even a safety car, even if it means Spike. If you remember Kieran back in the last season. Especially around turn 2 at the start of lap 1, turn 2, where you had the mass carnage of like half the field out.
Yeah, I wasn't there for last season, but I do remember watching it back, and hopefully we can have it a little bit more clean going through turn 2. Lewis in the chat then saying, here we go, almost lights out, can't wait, neither can I. Season number 13 was almost underway, we've got the formation lap, clouds of smoke then as the two front runners spin up the rear tyres, get some heat into them as Jay then makes his way through the lap then, warm up those tyres and brakes then. Let's have a look at the tyre strategies then. So everyone qualifying obviously in the top 10 has to start on the qualifying time or tyre they set their best lap time on. So for Laronix, that's on the super soft tyres. Same story for Ollie, Lighty on the ultra softs. That puts Spike on a set of soft tyres. Watch out for him during the race. Anyone from P10 down gets to have a brand new set of tyres. So Dave M then starts on a brand new set of super softs. Rapid on softs. There's Sean in softs. Maze is starting on super softs with Damien following suit. Usually there on soft tyres with Alan K on super softs. Z3 not setting a lap time, but he'll start on some soft tyres. And that is Graham then who crashed. He retired early on. Don't know whether he crashed out or not. But he'll be starting on a brand new set of super soft tyres. 29 laps await us for the Australian Grand Prix. We're going to be covering around about 154 kilometres and 5.303 kilometre circuit. Remember, lap record round here, the race lap record of course, 124.125 set by Michael Schumacher back in 2004.
What a beautiful Ferrari that was back in its day. You know, brilliant car, handles absolutely like a treat. You know, V10 with it as well. You know, you can't miss it. It is an absolute brilliant car Ferrari did in that year. And it went on to win the championship. And obviously 2005 to use the same sashi on that stuff on the 2004. And it kind of went backfired on them. But obviously 2004 though was a brilliant year for that Ferrari.
Absolutely. We're moments away then from the season opener. Season 13 is moments away. The race brought to you by WeakWiFiSolutions.com, who are sponsoring the Driver of the Day award, and it's also sponsored by A-Logo, who are sponsoring the Fastest Lap award. Moments away then from the Australian Grand Prix. The drivers have been waiting, the teams have been waiting. Which team has the best driver pairing? This is only the first round of 21 that's going to decide who got the best call in the end. As we wait for those 5 red lights now, green lights flashing, telling us we're almost ready to go. And here come those 5 red lights. Round 1 is underway, and what are the starts like? Here comes the McLaren then of Jay. That looks like Blizzard, who got a good start, but he's now under pressure from Poe right behind him. Poe's got a great start now as we head through turn 1 then. Have a look at that Ferrari of Lambo having to try and stick it round the outside. Are they going to all make it through clean? In through turn 2. Now coming down towards turn 3. That looks like the Red Bull of Blizzard then having to defend from Poe. Lambo almost running into the back of his teammate then as we head through turn 4. Lots of action happening behind us then as that's a car off. That's Damien there who went a little bit wide then. We'll have to wait and see if there's any damage. Running on board with Sean then. Oh, that's Dave M who's lost it. Dave M into the wall now and he's took Rapid with him. They've both got front wing damage and that's the Toro Rosso. Then they're locking wheels. Oh, Yuzi there getting involved. Well, he was trying to go around the outside. They locked wheels, but luckily for Yuzi, they're still facing the right way. But that's at least 2 cars coming back to the pit lane. Looks like Dave M just lost the back end there and Rapid was the unfortunate victim in that incident as we're still making our way through then. Jay still leading the pack. Blizzard right behind him, but look at Blizzard now looking for a move now as we head down towards turn 13 now. And you can see there, that's a move by Ollie then, up the inside of Marquezes, and Ollie's got the move done, so Marquezes down to 7th place there. Not been the greatest start from him, and is that Rapid then off the track, as I did see yellow flags in Sector 3, but as we make our way around the final corner, Jay leads the first lap of season number 13. Blizzard's in second, Poe third, Lambo 4th, Squeezy 5th, Ollie in 6th, Marquezes in 7th, Laronix 8th, Spike in 9th, Lady 10th, Shawnee Lynn 11th, Maze 12th, UC 13th.
Overtake going on with Ollie.
As Marquezes makes his way through then. Yeah, makes his way past Ollie. As that's Graham then in 14th, Alan K 15th, Z3 16th, Damien 17th, Rapid 18th, Dave M in 19th. Rapid and Dave M both running at the back of the field, having to make pit stops after their damage.
Oh, indeed. Obviously, everyone there getting through 10-1 and obviously particularly 10-2 with these as well. So obviously no retirement so far, which is great to see. Obviously, Dave and the Rapid there just getting close together and obviously connected front wings to each other, and obviously they've had to go in the pits there, but again, it's still in the race, anything can happen. It is only lap 2, anything can happen involving that safety car that can maybe potentially feature out later on in the race. But meanwhile though, we're looking at the front, Kieran, it is very tight here. The top 3, well I was just saying, like, you know, these top 10 there, like literally under a second of each other, which is very interesting. It's Jay under pressure by here by Blizzard right on the back of him, but the Ferraris of Poe and Lambo again dusting it out at the back for P3, P4, getting close together, but also taking Squeezy and Marquez is good as well. So the top 6 here, they're looking very feisty. Obviously as Jay comes over the line of lap 3 now, obviously DRS will be active at near the point of 10, 11, 10, 12 for the first activation point of the DRS, as Australia has this time 3 DRS zones.
Well, Graham's made a mistake then, coming out of the final corner, and he's down a load of positions, now down to P17. And if you have a look at the field then, the top 9 are in DRS zone of each other. They can deploy the DRS then. Oh no, that's just changed then, as Ollie falls 1.1 behind Marquezes. So that sort of breaks that change then, as Z3 now falls down to 17th there. As now Graham finds his way back up to 16th, Damien gaining a position then. It's all going on then, as Jay still leads then, as we head down towards turn 9. Tricky braking zone turn 9. You've got that curb on the inside which invites you to take it, but then there's that sleeping policeman that instantly punishes you if you use too much of it. Then we come towards turn 11 and 12, as one of the Ferraris fell victim to that during qualifying. And Blizzard, yeah, so this is the first DRS that they can use then throughout the race, and the DRS is wide open for Blizzard then as we head down towards turn 13, right on his tail now. And well, the interesting thing is that the DRS down the start-finish straight, don't expect to move up the inside of turn 1 and 2, because there's only one activation point between the start-finish line DRS and the, well, technically second activation point between turns 2 and 3. There's only one activation point for there, so it's a smart move to just sort of get right up behind them towards turn 1. You can see there Blizzard's not going to go for the move, right on his tail then, get the exit of turn 2 absolutely spot on, and this looks like a move in the making then. Blizzard right on the tail of Jay through the slipstream as we head up towards turn 3. Jay moves to the right hand side, and can Blizzard try and hold it round the outside?
Ferraris are going for a battle as well.
As the Ferrari's still battling as well, but we'll keep on board with this McLaren and the Red Bull for now as they go side by side now. Blizzard right around the outside as the McLaren concedes the position. Blizzard had the bravery there to go right around the outside. Complete trust in Jay then, and that's a good move from Blizzard in the end then, as we're watching Marquezes trying to put Squeezy under a little bit of pressure then as we head now down towards turn... This is turn 9.
Ooh, did they touch? Did they touch?
I'm not sure, but Marquezes in the end has got the better exit. They're going to run side by side now as they head towards the chicane, and this chicane is not an overtaking opportunity. And there you go then, Squeezy is the one that has to back out of it as Marquezes moves up to P5. What that does though is give Squeezy that DRS then as they head towards turn 13 for the 4th time in this race. We've got yellow flags in sectors 1.
Uzi's out.
Uzi is out. He's out. And where's he gone off then? We're looking out for the yellow flag.
Tracking down. I'm tracking. It is in just after turn 5.
Yeah, there he is.
Looks like hit the wall. So Uzi's the first retirement of the day, and unfortunately losing it just after turn 5. So unfortunately for Uzi there to be bailing out on the first race of the season.
And Z3 moves up a position then. He's passed Graham then for P15 as well, both of them I believe battling out position. And well, Blizzard leads then as they head through turn 3. Ollie picking up a 3-second time penalty in that Red Bull, but the top 4 There is absolutely nothing between them. Marquezes then could try and pick up a little bit of an advantage, as that looks like a battle between Ollie and Lyronix battling here, as Lyronix is right on the tail of the Red Bull. Red Bull versus Toro Rosso here, and Lyronix almost ran into the back of his sister teammate then, but managing to get away with no damage. Here they come now down towards turn 9. Lyronix thought about a move up the inside, but decided against it, and now coming now through turn 10. They've got, I believe that is Spike behind them, and that is Spike behind them on the soft tyres in a race of his own. He knows he has to look after those tyres as best he can, and Lyronix here could look like a little bit of a good run here. Keep an eye on that battle for the lead then, because that gap is coming down. Here comes Lyronix then, wanted to go down the left-hand side, but the gap was never there, so the opportunity faded away then, and Blizzard then 4 tenths ahead of Jay then.
Oh, Cameron. You went was to the front, there's a four-way battle here for front. You got involved in Blizzard, Jay, Poe and Lambo, literally within the line of stern of each other. Obviously they were close just before the DRS, but again, it just like breaking out a bit of a gap here.
Now I wonder, Jay then didn't deploy DRS down that straight. I wonder if he's got DRS issues then. I wonder if he can't deploy it, because that DRS isn't opening, and that could hamper him.
It is, but he just gets away with it for now, although he has got Poe right behind him and also Lambo for the shoot with it as well. So obviously the two Ferraris within the line of stern, obviously both, you know, very good in trusting each other, and both like teammates in the past and other leagues they've been featured in, but and both have a great partnership and know when to race each other when it suits. But obviously Jay here under huge pressure here, Poe going for a potential move but backs out of it. So Poe's got to be careful when he tries to go overtake with Jay, that he does not hamper his teammate Lambo behind him. Obviously Lambo there was just probably just a case to sit back and watch it all unfold. But again, it will come around here after the exit 10, 11 and 12. The arrest is going to be active here for all three cars behind Blizzard here. But as you can see that, Kieran, Jay does not look like he has DRS. He has DRS problems potentially, which Poe can capitalise on it with ease, making advantage down that back straight there.
Yeah, it seems to be just getting away with for now, even just with the slipstream, he's able to keep up.
Jay's gone wide, but gets away with it again.
Yeah, very close to the wall then on the exit, but that has cost him, because here comes Poe then, and the DRS looks like it's back online for Jay, because that DRS is open now as we head now down towards turn 2. Yeah, absolutely perfect timing. That's when he needed it, and now heading our way towards turn 3. This looks like Poe could be trying for a move, but Jay's also trying for a move. Is he? Very close then, and that's also the Ferrari behind Lambo, and he wanted to try and make a move. Marquezes then has used this opportunity to...
It's a 6-car battle here, Kieran. It's a 6-car battle here. Marquezes and Squeezy are in this train as well. So anything can happen with these top 6 here. They're all on the same side, the same tyre life as well. So it depends who's going to pit first out of these top 6 here.
Absolutely, lap 7, and it is Blizzard in the lead from Jay and Poe. That's your top 3 right now. Riding on board with the Ferrari of Poe, the lead Ferrari that is for now. As look at this now, Jay trying to close in on Blizzard as we make our way through turns 11 and 12 then. And looks like the McLaren then, looks like didn't get the best
on the
run.
Back here. He's got a double toe. Poe's going for the move. Where's he going to go? He's going down the right, or is he going down left? It's going to be free wide. Don't make it free wide round here. He's going side by side with Blizzard though. Trying to push Blizzard right fairly. Yes, he does. He's going free wide here. Oh, and Blizzard's lost it. Blizzard's lost it. He's into the wall. Damage his front wing there. So Blizzard then losing it on the exit there. Damage his front wing now. He's at the back of the pack with the front left wing damage. So now Blizzard's got to go limp around the track. But meanwhile though, oh, Blizzard decides to pull into the pits at the same time with Squeezy. He's also in the pits, and also Jay. So three-way battle. Also, Blizzard's going to be the worst one lost out of this in this pit stop battle due to a front wing change.
Yeah, that was not quite sure what happened there. Just happened outside of my eye of sight there. But what that does mean is that Blizzard has to stop early, whether he wanted to or not. He has to make that stop now to repair that front wing. And they've all gone onto the soft tyres. So that is Squeezy, that's Jay, that's Blizzard, that's Lighty. They've all gone onto those soft tyres.
Marquezes! Marquezes!
Marquezes out of the race! Oh my goodness, both wheels are off. Huge impact for Marquezes then. And he did that all on his own, lost the back end, and went straight to the scene of the accident.
That is unfortunate for Marquezes. It's easy to lose it on the exit of turn 5 there, particularly, especially if you push your car too much, going around there taking too much speed. Back end like drops onto the grass, and that's it. Once the back end goes around that area, you cannot easily control it, especially with the walls around here in Australia. It just comes straight to you thick and fast. So unfortunately Marquezes probably just pushing a little bit too much, maybe got a bit too much dirty air, and obviously it just paid the price for him unfortunately on that occasion.
Yeah, I said he wanted to shake that bad run of luck he had at the back end of the season last time out, but that hasn't worked for him today as Poe jumps into the pits then. Lambo will take the lead of the race then, and I wonder what tyres he will go on to in the end. I'm assuming it's going to be the soft tyres, try the overcut, because of course with the 2 compound difference there is a chance that the overcut could actually work, and with such a busy pit lane it's only Poe in there at the moment, so there's no chance of him getting held up in the pit lane. So where will he rejoin then? He's making his way on the exit. Very slow pit lane, 37 kph, and there's the Renault of Alan Kay then. And Poe, yeah, Poe's jumped them all. So Squeezy, yeah, Squeezy, Jay, Blizzard, they've all been jumped then. Blizzard.
Meanwhile, Dave, Poe's literally under pressure by Alan Kay and Squeezy here as well. Going there down towards turn 3. Obviously, Squeezy making a move on that. Oh, Poe's going forward. Squeezy's coming through. Squeezy there jumps Poe there around the exit turn 3 there. Obviously, Poe gone off a bit deep there after taking Alan Kay. So Squeezy there making an opportunist move there, making a move on Poe on turn 3. Brilliant move.
Yeah, that just looked like a case of cold tyres there as he headed down towards turn 3. Not quite the breaking point he wanted. Meanwhile, then Spike, who's on the soft tyres. Put it this way, first place is running on ultra softs, second and third place are running on super softs, and fourth place is running on softs. That's the variety of strategy we've got running here right now. But it is Lambo leading the way. He's already 1.3 ahead of Ollie as well. So Lambo now comes into the pits, and I wonder if those on the ultra soft tyres just might have the disadvantage in the first stint, may have the advantage in the second part of their stint when they move on to the soft tyres. That looks like Blizzard though has made a move on Jay, and it is. So Blizzard now back up to 11th place, even with that front wing repair that he needs to made. He's now back in front of Jay then. Ollie now having to try and defend from Laronix. And what do you do if you spike then? You know, you're on the soft tyres, you can go longer than the 2 cars in front. Do you let them battle and see what happens, or do you make everything you can to get past them?
Well, with Spike, probably just a case of like, you know, you see how the pace dictates between the top 2 cars. Obviously, if he feels like he's quicker than him and tries to go for a move, you can probably think of going for a move somewhere. But again, first he's got to take where their weaknesses and try and capitalise it quickly as possible without hampering yourself too much within dirty air, which is easy said and done around the track around Australia. But if you can get through them very quickly and dispatch them very quickly, then obviously it will benefit in more Spike's favour in terms of strategy. But, you know, anything can happen around here, especially around Australia being the eye-opener of the season.
Absolutely, it's a true eye-opener of where you might stand in the season then, as Blizzard now looks to try and make a way past Alan Kay, coming towards the chicane. Not a conventional overtaking place, he's up the inside now, side by side as they go through turn 12, and Blizzard's lost it! They touched, and Blizzard's around, and I said that's not an overtaking place. And Blizzard now reverses all the way off the track then, and that's going to be a painful way to come back on, because you're rejoining at one of the fastest places on the circuit. Meanwhile, off stream, Laronix and Ollie are both into the pits then, and they go on to a set of soft tyres. That's definitely going to take them to the end of the race. So Spike then inherits the lead of the race. That's Sean then in second. Maze is still on the super softs. That's him in third. So Squeezy then is in 4th place, and he'll be the one looking to mount the charge against Spike, his teammate.
Indeed. Here's a good thing as well here, Kieran. Obviously, Ollie and Laronix come out within 7th and P8, obviously, although C3 just overtook Laronix there. But not very far behind Lambo. Meanwhile, though, C3 and Ollie, side by side here. Round turn 4 there. C3 trying to go around the outside. Can you make it stick? Yes, you can, although C3 then lets them go through. So Jay's right on the back here of Laronix here. There's a battle here for P8 at the moment. Obviously, Jay already made a pit stop whilst Laronix just come out on cold tyres, so Laronix here got a little bit disadvantage here until he warms up the tyres. It may take about at least 1 to 2 laps then to get themselves up to reasonable temperature. So this is the opportunity for Jay to literally make the advantage of the tyres he's got really warmed up at the moment to get him move on Laronix.
Yeah, Maze then now under pressure from Poe, as I don't think Maze is going to make too much of that battle, but Poe then desperately wanted to try and get his way past, because he's seen Squeezy just go through, and that really ramps up the incentive.
Maze has gone deep. Maze has gone deep, and he's going into pits anyway, so Maze is going into pits, but he went a little bit deep around the second to last corner there with Poe.
Well, here comes Jay now in the slipstream and in the DRS zone of Laronix. And he knows this move needs to be made sooner rather than later. Coming down the straight, then he's going to go for it. Up towards turn 1 now, up the inside. And with the DRS, that looked like an easy move then. And he will have that DRS down the second part as we head towards turn 3 to get himself away. Now, I've never really agreed with that DRS zone not having its own detection point. But there you go. Jay's now up to P7 now, ahead of Laronix, who had only just come back out from his stop.
Yeah, obviously, like Jay there making a move there, which is probably vital for him. But you've now got to be careful that Laronix don't come back on him later on. Obviously, Laronix there making a pit stop. Obviously, like bit roll about 3 laps fresher tyres. So, you know, Laronix has a chance to come back out on him. And meanwhile, Damien and Alan K there switching positions there. Damien up into P14, Alan K down into P15. Alan K there losing it in the background there. Lost it on the exit of turn 3 and he's hit his front wing there. So Alan K there obviously making the trip to the walls as well. So Alan K will now have to limp around the rest of the track there to get back in the pits. That is not going to do him any favours whatsoever. So he's now going to make another pit stop, which he doesn't really want to do, but keep himself going though, no matter what, pointing in the right direction. But Alan K there in the walls was after battling with David.
And Squeezy managed to find a way past Sean, and Sean who's yet to stop in this race. So Poe now in the DRS zone, heading down towards turn 3 as we've got yellow flags in sector 3. As Poe looks,
rapid.
It does look like rapid from the telemetry.
It is rapid. Rapid again, hitting the walls once again, particularly around I believe the exit of turn 12, hitting his front wing again. So rapid again, getting caught up on the walls once again.
Here comes Poe, taps the back of Sean there, a little bit of contact you could hear just over the stream. But as we make our way now down towards turn 9, will Poe have a look up the inside? He will, you know, trying to go up the inside. And Sean...
Contact.
Oh, I don't think Sean's going to be too happy with that move then. But that's going to allow Lambo now to come through. And, well, both Ferraris are through then. And I don't think Sean's going to be too impressed with Poe then as they headed towards turn 9. Turn 9 is not really an overtaking opportunity.
No, it's not. You're going to get it done before going into that corner particularly, because it's not an ideal overtaking spot. But again, obviously Lambo there being well gifted there from Poe and Sean's contact there. So obviously Lambo on the back of his teammate. Question is though, Kieran, will Ferrari play team orders on the first race of the season? Surely not.
Surely not. No, they can't do. They've got to battle it out. And so Poe is leading Lambo at the moment, but they will fight on track, that is for sure. But I wonder though, all it takes is one incident, one little tap of the wheel, one little thing to send them both round, and team orders might be in effect from that point. As you see the Renault there, I believe that's Alan Kay getting well out of the way then, as the Ferraris come straight through. As have a look at this battle then between...
Oh, virtual safety car! Virtual safety car! Alan Kay's retired!
So Alan Kay out of the race in virtual safety car, so all the cars now have to follow exactly the same delta. So as Crofty would describe it, it's like having a Scalextrics and you put all of your cars on the same line. They all at the same speed, at the same delta, and it looks like then this will bunch, well, it won't bunch up the field, but it will slow them down, a chance to save some fuel, save some ERS. Get a little bit of temperature back into the tyres, and the way you know the virtual safety car is over, look at the top left hand side of your screen. It will flash sectors 1, 2 and 3 yellow, then it will go away completely with the DRS enabled. That's how you know we're back under green flag racing.
Spike's in the pits.
So Spike is taking advantage. Yeah, absolutely then. So he will go on to a set of, I believe, super soft tyres. He won't make ultra softs last that long. So that is huge news then. Virtual safety car is over. Yeah, we're back under green flag racing then. So Squeezy then, will he take the lead of this race then? It's a very slow pit lane, 60 kph. As Squeezy will come through, he will take the lead of the race. But I tell you what, I think Spike's made a great call there. He's bought himself a little bit more time, and he will rejoin on a set of super soft tyres. That's going to take him to the end of the race then.
He's going to get Howard ahead of Jay though. It's going to be very close if going turn 1. Yes, it is. Spike's timed that. Brilliant there from Spike there. Using his timing to perfection there, although he will be under pressure by Jay for a little bit, but obviously being on the super soft tyres. Light E there's return.
Light E, where's he lost it then? We've got yellow flags coming up towards turn 1 then.
Oh, he's lost it on the main straight. He's lost it on the main straight.
Wow.
How did he lose it on the main straight?
Well, that is bizarre. Yeah, you don't lose it on the straight like yourself. unless that was cold tyres lighting up coming out of the pit lane, a la Gerhard Berger, but I can't have seen that happening.
That is very unusual there to lose on the main straight there. But yeah, like either being the fourth retirement of the night. All starting to slowly drop away, but it's all still, everyone else still pointing in the right direction. Spike, they're still keeping reasonably gap away as much as possible from Jay. Obviously, coming out in fresh set of tyres. Obviously, though, Spike will have the upper hand to everyone up ahead. Obviously, a different type of compound. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about the pit exit is you do have a compromised line going into turn 1, so you are opened up down the straight, but no one has DRS behind you because they missed the activation point to get you. So what that meant was Spike just had to stay ahead for those couple of corners when the tyres got up to temperature, and now look, he's over a second ahead. Jay does have that DRS and he will do down towards turn 3, but with the pace Spike has got then on those super soft tyres that will get him to the end of the race now. Well, he did actually pit on lap, what was it, lap 14, lap 15 on a set of soft tyres.
Lap 15.
Yeah, to get those super softs, what's that? That's 15 laps. 15 laps on those super softs. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll hold you to that then, Steph.
It is doable from that gap. Spike is probably turning that to perfection. They're obviously using the virtual safety car to get himself effectively a very good pit stop there. So, obviously not much time loss. And obviously now he's only just over a second behind Ollie there. But he is catching quickly though.
I always like to say with the physical safety car you get a free pit stop. With the virtual safety car you get a discounted one. It's almost like it's sort of 40-50% off the total pit time with the speed the cars go around. But one battle...
You're just going...
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say one battle that's developing is the battle between Lambo, Ollie, and now coming up is Spike. Here comes Ollie then, wanting to have a move up the inside of turn 14. Door wasn't open. Sorry, turn 15. That is actually Lambo coming into the pits.
Right.
So I wonder... Oh, I don't know. I wonder if he had some damage then. So bad news for Lambo then, as Spike will now find himself up towards P4.
He's got wing damage. He had wing damage, Kieran.
Oh, that is unfortunate
wing damage.
For the Ferrari. He's running well as well, but now he'll find himself down the field. He will rejoin on some super soft tyres, and he'll be pushing right the way to the end of the race. Now, with the tyre temperatures, we always heard Spike last season always struggle with those tyre temperatures. Maybe with these revamped settings that maybe he'll come into his own now this season.
It looks like Spike's more comfortable in this situation so far. Looking at it, where he's driving the car at the moment, Kieran, is like, treating it going around each corner like it's like pretty go on the straight. Oh, meanwhile, Rapid's gone. Where is Rapid gone? Where is Rapid gone? We'll find out. Whereabouts is David? So David's about 18 seconds. We'll try tracking down and see where Rapid is. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost it around on the exit of turn 12. Looks like he has. Where's his car? Yes, he has. He's gone into the wall there, Kieran, on the exit of 12. So Rapid again getting caught out into the walls. So making it about the fifth of time tonight. But yeah, that's what I was saying though. There's regarding Spike. Spike's like going around treating the car like it's a pretty girl, like you're picking up and looking after her and treating her with utmost respect. So Spike's driving that car to perfection.
Ooh, around the outside he goes. Oh, against Ollie as we now make our way on the exit. As we head towards turn 3, side by side they go. Spike will have the DRS, but Ollie has the inside line. Spike wanted to go around the outside of turn 3. He'll have the inside line for turn number 4 as the Mercedes wants to keep there. The Red Bull's going to run wide and Spike gets the position. Ollie loses the car. Just about kept it under control then, but the McLaren of Jay, that's a free position for Jay then. So he'll be thanking his lucky stars, and Ollie then moving well out of the way of Laronix as well, as the Red Bull got front wing damage. On that left-hand side, he has, yes. So he tapped the wall. So I wonder if he'll now come back to the pit lane and put on a set of super soft tyres. Well, it looked like there he just lost the back end on his own then. And, well, Spike now up into a podium position.
Obviously, yeah, indeed, Spike gives himself well up in the podium position there. Obviously, great respect between Spike and Ollie there, fighting out through those corners there. Obviously, Ollie there, obviously had to concede, like, going off wide there. Obviously, Spike pushing up nice and fairly there. Great racecraft. And obviously Ollie just lost it on the case of traction coming back over those sausage grab and just been into the wall, which is unfortunate. Now he's got to limp into the pits and get that change Meanwhile, though, Blizzard is not far behind, coming up behind it. We've got, oh, that's a over there of a lap car. I believe that's David.
Lambo round the outside. Oh, going into turn 13. And he's round the outside of Sean once again. That's two Ferraris now that Sean's just had out of nowhere. But that is Lambo now up to P9. And that is Sean down to P10. We've got Ollie and Z3 into the pits. Now that's Z3 coming in. He did pit early on in the race to put on those soft tyres. So he is effectively two-stopping now. But he will put on a set of... Well, he could put on some ultra softs actually. But he doesn't. He puts on super softs instead. Have a look at the battle now for P12, as that is Graham and Damien battling for position then. Oh, they both go wide at turn 12 then. And any chance of a battle there, or Damien closing in on Graham down that straight, went when they both sort of ran wide on the exit of turn 12 then. But these two might have a good battle this race, as Graham there is on soft tyres, Damien on super soft. So on paper, Damien should be closing that gap towards the end of the race.
In theory, on paper, yes, should be close on pace toward the race, but it depends on how much Damien pushes the life out those tyres, because, no matter what it says, expected life to expand on those tyres. It tells you how much life you've got left in it, but at the same time, it's how you use it. If you treat it right, you can get more laps out of it, but if you push them up too quickly, too aggressively, you expect them to drop off at a rate of knots, and it will not last the distance as it's meant to be saying.
10 laps to go.
Losing it a little bit in certain corners, but keeping it under control. Damien's right on the back of him this time round, though. Again, this is about P12 here. This is a battle for pride here between them two. Obviously, Damien then heading up towards turn 8 to 9. At the moment, not ideally looking for a move, but just following suit, coming up to the fast corners of 11 and 12. This is a very disappointing situation with the car behind him, because you can literally use your back end with dirty air. But again, both get through here nice and unscathed there. Damien with the DRS. Is he going to go for a move on Graham? Just a little bit too far back, but he is getting much closer to Graham here. Don't know if he's going to try again down the main straight. Although he's got good Maze and Ollie, because their battle's starting to be up a little bit as well. But focusing just at the moment, Damien and Graham. Again, Damien keep it tight. Well, Graham there goes on void here. This is opening up the door here for Damien to go for a move on Graham. Graham trying to go defensive. Damien go down the inside. Can he get done by turn 1? Yes, it is. They're almost close to make contact there, but Graham now gets had to consider position, and Damien is up into P12.
Good move from him then. And well, Ollie then on the stream, just cutting back between the battle between Damien and Graham, and then Ollie and Maze. Ollie made that move going in towards turn 1 with the DRS, and he's now up to P9. And Sean then running in P8, actually running in the Williams last season, now into the Haas. And I said, if you follow me on Twitter, which maybe you should, at KSMCG F1, subtle plug there if I say so, you will know I've injured myself. I've damaged some ligaments in my knee, and it's going to take some time to recover. I made a joke in the pre-season build-up saying, oh, I need to cover this race. So he replied back to me on Twitter. He said, I hope you're braced for this one. I thought that was well played.
Well played there, Sean. Great words, great banter.
He's currently running in 8th place right now, and looking to score some good points if he can get that car to the end. He's sort of in a race of his own at the moment, as Blizzard and Lambo seem to be as well. You must have been in a race on your own, Steph. Just how difficult is it to concentrate and just keep setting those lap times all by yourself? As we got yellow flags, I think 3 and Blizzard's out.
Blizzard's gone.
Blizzard, is this through turn 11 and 12? It's actually before turn 11 and 12. Yes, it is. Is it? No, it's not. Oh, he's on the left-hand side.
Oh, are we going to see another safety car potentially come out this time? An actual physical safety car. This will be interesting.
Now remember, he was all on his own then, so he must have got into the wall all on his own. That's bizarre.
Blizzard making the 6th time there from the F4 time world champion there, especially the last champion of last season. So obviously not a good start there for Blizzard, and he won't be too happy pleased with that. But fortunately, it's how the over 50 crumbles.
Well, lap 22, and if you're normally leading the race and you don't get much coverage, that's normally a good sign. But Squeezy is leading the way. Poe is right behind him. 1.4 separates him. Then it's Spike in P3. Now, he hasn't made a lot of headway at that gap, and I wonder if this is what you were talking about, Steph. Overworking those tyres and taking the potential out of them early on in your stint.
Indeed, like, you know, absolutely, like, if you get like the pit stop right in certain situations and then push on like after you make the pit stop, okay, it's fine pushing on, but again, you don't want to be pushing on for too long because it can hurt you later on. And obviously, Spike there was probably expected to be like at least like a bit more up the road than Jay is, but it looks like Jay's starting to come back on him already. So I don't know if Spike's made a mistake somewhere or.
Oh, he's into the pits then. That's front wing, front wing.
Front wing. That's probably Spike up into P2 here. So Spike's great. This is Mercedes 1-2-ish now, Kieran. Mercedes have got a 1-2 spot.
20 laps ago, Ferrari were in control of this race. Now it's switched back over to Mercedes. So anything, like you keep saying, Steph, anything in this race can happen. And yellow flags in sector 1 then. As where is that then? Whatever the yellow flags were.
It's the 10-4, that's for the map marker.
It's for Graham then, who gets well out of the way then. As so that is what those yellow flags would have been for. So Laronix then in P4 on those soft tyres is going to find himself under pressure. But the two Ferraris are going to battle for position. It might not be for first and second. It's for fifth and sixth instead. But the same principle still applies. If they make any contact, then the Ferrari team principal is going to have to step in and say enough of that.
Indeed, you know, obviously, Enzo's quicker and all that stuff. They just got set out on track again. Rule number 1 in motorsports, especially, is do not take out your teammate. He is like, you know, the both of your two each other's wingmans, and you both help each other to get the points for your team. But one thing you do not do is take them out. Obviously, just have a look back in the days in 80s and 90s with Prost and Senna. They're both total rivalries, both in the same team with McLaren. Took each other out to win titles between them two. Obviously, the latter championship of 1990, where Senna and Prost were different teammates.
Absolutely. Well, two teammates that are not on the same bit of track at the moment. Squeezy leading from Spike then in second place. Jay is in third with Laronix in fourth. Lambo in fifth with Poe in sixth. Sean is in seventh place with Ollie in eighth. Maze is in ninth. Z3 in 10th with Graham in 11th. Dave is in 12th and Damien is in P13. In this race, Blizzard, Rapid, Lighty, Alan K, Marquesas and Yuzi all retiring from the Australian Grand Prix and the season opener of season 13. So Squeezy's still leading, and well, I keep saying this tagline, Steph.
The unlucky 13.
Unlucky for some, lucky for one. And I think Squeezy here has rode the best of the luck today. Both Ferraris have run into trouble. We've got Marquezes spinning out. Blizzard also out of the race. It seems to have gone right for Squeezy today. All he's got to do is hold on for 5 more laps.
Indeed, you know, that's where the pressure kicks in, Kieran. Meanwhile, though, just focusing on the battle here for P7, Ollie and Sean. So, obviously, the battle for P7 also keeping on for the battle of Ferraris as well, because that's hot enough as well between them two. Obviously, Ollie on the back of Sean. Ollie is already going to go for it. He's going to look for the outside move. Sean there, covering it off respectfully there. Giving him enough room. Ollie going for a switch back here again. Not enough to pull him off just at the moment. So, Ollie again just got to settle around for a couple of corners. Meanwhile, his pace sets of 1 minute 2.3. It's plus his lap times so far. But Ollie again going very aggressive there, pushing around that last corner, getting as much speed as he can to carry down the straight. He's going to go for the move for turn 1. Sean again defending his line respectfully there. Again, Sean there goes a bit deep. This is open up for Ollie. Again, trying to do the switch back again around turn 2. DRS is open, now heading down towards turn 3. Again, Ollie opted to go around the outside. Can he make the move stick around the outside? Sean there still covering him off there as much as possible, which Ollie now gets the inside for turn 4. Sean still working around the outside again, both fairly getting wave there. Sean maintains the position. Surprisingly, obviously, no minor contact there. Again, just a clash of banging wheels, but Sean there driving the wheels off that house, keeping Ollie behind him. Great respect for them two battling out so far.
Yeah, great battling between those two. Long may it continue as we head now down towards turn 9. Who's going to get the better exit as they now run towards that chicane of turns 11 and 12. Important to get that right because the DRS zone is right after it as Ollie looks to stay in the slipstream. Sean here doesn't get the best entry into the chicane in the world. And Ollie here will have the slipstream DRS open as we head now down towards turn 13. Ollie pulls to the left-hand side there. Sean can't do a lot then round the outside. He'll cover off the inside, runs a little too deep though. And Ollie gets the move done then as we head now down towards turn 14. And Ollie in P7 now as Poe sets the fastest lap of the race, 122.188. That is currently the A-Logo fastest lap of the race. Sean here. Well, it was good battling between those two, but Sean there on what I believe is 5 lap older tyres than Ollie. I think that battle was only heading one way, but great battling nonetheless.
Indeed, great respect between them two, putting major trust with each other, especially around certain corners. You're not really expecting an overtaking move, but again, they both played well and respected each other. Meanwhile, though, C3 then making a move on our Maze. C3 up into 9th, Maze is down into 10th, although they're both still battling up though, heading down towards turn 3. Again, Maze trying again look for a move around C3, but C3 after making the move looks like it's got it covered. Although C3 is on much younger lap tyres and also different compounders, so favouring C3 in that potential.
He actually picks himself up a 3-second time penalty there, so that will go against him at the end of the race. Meanwhile, Jay is closing in on Spike then. The gap at the beginning of the lap was 1.7. It's now down to 1.4.
as well. Battle for the Salvers here as well. Getting back in P11. Yes, Graham and Dave M. Both roughly saying that older tyres, obviously different compounds. Obviously Dave here behind S. Graham trying to make a move. And then towards someone. Yes, Graham there going for defence. Dave trying to go around the outside, not at the moment, but going for a switchback and going for a switchback again. But at the moment, not pulling up alongside, or they're getting slipstream toe now, heading down towards turn 3. Where's Dave going to go? He's going to go up the inside. Ooh, very close there for the teammates. They're getting caught up with each other, but yeah, get away with it just for now. Dave literally right on the back of S. Graham. Well, S. Graham's got a bit more favour and durability in tyres, and he went off the grass there, but again, yeah, it was away there, not even getting a damaged front wing. So looks like S. Graham there just probably getting a little bit hot-heated in those soft tyres at the moment. They then just keeping it under control at the moment, trying to find an opening to get past his teammate, but again, not to take out your teammate no matter what the cost.
Yeah, absolutely, as we now head our way towards 11 and 12 on board with the Sabres, and Maze has retired!
Oh,
Maze has retired! For only the second time in his entire TTL career, he's not going to score any points! Only the second time!
Well, that's unfortunate there for Maze. Where has he lost it? On board with Graham trying to see where he is. While battling with his teammate, where has Maze lost it? But looking at it, not sure where. He's going around the last corner. Maybe he's a little bit more further up on the lap. Maybe it's set to 1. Well, we'll find out surely where Maze is going for. Dave trying to go out the inside of S. Graham there, and he gets the move done there. So that Dave up into P11, S. Graham down into P12. Yeah, and trying to track down where Maze lost his car. Thinking maybe lost it turn 5, I believe.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of.
I think the thing was the Saubers were quite a way behind. Z3 and Maze were close on track, but Maze was behind, and that's where the two cars have just passed before turn 6. So that is where Maze has lost it before turn 6. That's the best we can guess then from that data. So for only the second time in his career, Maze is not going to score any points in a TTL race.
No, I mean, you'll be not very best pleased with that. You know, keeping this consistency going on, and obviously, unfortunately, getting a retirement on the first race of the season, it does set a setback, which means that opens up the door there for the two Sauber drivers there to battle out for the points. See which one of them will get the points. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on. Meanwhile, both the two Mercedes are literally started off their last lap here as well, Kieran. Squeezy still leading away with Spike in P2. Looking good for Mercedes, they're getting a great lot of points here, top marks.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Spike at this point is damage limitation Looks like those super soft tyres are starting to get past their sell-by date. And of course, worn super softs perform a lot worse than worn soft tyres do. Keeping an eye on that battle. There is Squeezy coming through and towards turns 11 and 12. And it looks like he's on his way. 8.2 between this battle here. He might be on his way to take his first race win of the season and the first race win of the season, which will be a good advantage for him. He's been improving season after season then as he makes his way towards turn 14 for the final time. Some people were saying this is his year. Z3 was saying that before the race started. Here he comes through turn 15 and around the final corner for turn 16. Unlucky for some, unlucky for some indeed, but not for Squeezy. He crosses the line to win the first race of the new season, and 25 points on the board for Squeezy. Meanwhile, Spike and Jay battling it out then. Spike's already weaving left and right. He'll claim second place in this race, but is jumped by Jay on penalties.
Oh, no,
so Jay
no.
is up there. Now Spike is down to P4. Lyronics takes the third spot now. So Spike down to fourth. Poe finishing in fifth place then. Lambo's going to come across the line. He'll take sixth spot in this race then, as Ollie makes his way round the final two corners in the Red Bull. Not a bad start for him, and he is ever improving as a driver as he makes his way towards the line. Seventh place, solid points display from Ollie, and he'll happily take those then. Sean in eighth place then. Twice Ferrari came out of nowhere, twice he recovered from it, and he will finish in eighth place then, and that is...
No, he goes P7.
P7 then through penalties.
P7.
And Z3 then will be the last of the lead lap cars, and he's going to come across the line in ninth place then. But your winner of the Australian Grand Prix, 25 points on the board, it's Squeezy. That was a brilliant race there, Steph. And I really enjoyed that. We'll wait for the podium celebrations. And there they are then. Squeezy with his first race win of the season there. And, well, the Mercedes had a split strategy. But not for Squeezy though. He was absolutely on top of it. First race win of the season. And they are celebrating there then. And what a race we had. We'll bring you the official, unofficial results when they come up. And we'll be able to get a better idea of who stands where. Big retirements in this race from Marquez's and Blizzard. Instance with the Ferraris that maybe handed Squeezy that win on a plate then. But here they are then. Your official, unofficial results. Squeezy taking the race win. Jay there in second. Lyronics in third. Great result for him, with Spike dropping down to fourth through penalties. Poe is in fifth with Lambo sixth. Sean in seventh and Ollie in eighth. Z3 picking up his first point of the season in P9. Gray and they're picking up a point. A lap down though, but he'll take that. Damon in 11th. Dave M in 12th. Retirements then Maze, Blizzard, Rapid, Lighty, Alan K, Marquez's and Yuzi. And I wonder then, at that virtual safety car for Spike then, was it too early for Spike to come in?
Ooh, I don't know, very close. It's probably just on par. Maybe like a 1 or 2 laps in it difference. But, you know, despite that, you know, Spike finished over the line in P2 but dropped down to P4 due to penalties. But done a remarkable job though to get himself up there to help the Mercedes to get great points here, and obviously, you know, leading the constructors after race 1.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll take that any day of the week. So it's a great start for Squeezy. It's a great start for Mercedes as well. And I'm sure Spike's going to be a bit disappointed about not finishing on the podium. But yeah, if he sticks around for Commentator's Corner, we can ask him. Obviously, Commentator's Corner still around for season 13. We basically speak to the drivers who stick around after the race. If you do want to be interviewed, make sure you just stick around. We'll invite you to a lobby in a separate stream. It may take up to sort of 3 or 4 minutes, depending on how long the debrief is after the race. But Steph, I don't know if you're going to make it a regular thing coming back to the box, but you seem to be a bit of a good luck charm for good races.
Well, I'll do my best to, like, you know, jump in the box, you know, help out with you, like, with you, Kieran, and obviously everyone else as well. But like I said, obviously at the moment, whether I obviously can't fully commit at the moment due to potentially leaving house so late. That's like at the moment, it's like here and there at the moment, trying to get things sorted. But like I said, I'll do my best to, you know, come in as much as possible. But again, I'll keep you all updated in terms of the chat in the game chat wise. So. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Great stuff. And, well, tomorrow night, don't forget, I hope Andy's going to live up to your expectations, Steph, because he's taking over the TTFL commentary box. If you're wondering, that's where Andy's been. He's actually over on the Friday series right now. And if you are looking for your first commentary gig, why not this one? Make sure you follow TTL_F1 on Twitter. Drop them a message and we'll see if we can get you on board for a couple of trials. Who knows? You could be replacing me one day because obviously you'll be much better.
No one can't replace you, Kieran.
Don't forget as well, TTL F2 on Sundays. Their season opener is coming up as they look towards a new season and hopefully a very competitive one too. I believe that is Nexus and Jack taking the helm on that one. They've improved themselves towards the end of last season, and through their next season they're going to be as ever on top of it. We're going to be going over to Commentators Corner very, very shortly. It is a separate stream, so make sure you do subscribe to TTTV. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified every time the series goes live. And don't forget, on Saturdays as well is TTP Cars. That's also commentated by Andy. They are still looking for drivers if you want to. It's at TT_P Cars. Andy will be there to guide you in the right direction and for trials and whatnot. But that's it for this part of the stream. We'll be over to Commentators Corner very shortly. Make sure you subscribe and don't go away from the channel.
Back soon. Don't go anywhere.